Hello everyone, and welcome to another review. Today I have a review for you of a fragrance that was released in the year 2008. It's none other than Versace Pour Homme. Here is the bottle. Very simplistic bottle, almost has a crystal-like feel to it even though it's just glass. The front of it has the little Versace logo. The top of it has some design at the top. It says Versace right here on the collar. The sticker and serial number are actually on the bottom of the bottle. And when you pop the cap, it has some design even on the sprayer right here. Sprayer is actually pretty decent. Not great, but at the same time not bad as well. So very simplistic bottle. This is the 1.7 again. The 3.4, the 1.7 is actually available for $57 around, and the 3.4 will run you about, I believe, $74. So anything that you get for this below that, consider it a steal. It's your typical designer fragrance from the house of Versace. Now, the parfumé behind this is Alberto Morillas. I'm not positive how you pronounce it. It looks like a Hispanic name, so sounds like Alberto Morillas, but he is a pretty famous parfumé in terms of he's had his hand in a lot of cookie jars. He's made the 212, or helped create the 212 Men line with Carolina Herrera. He's done Calvin Klein lines. He is partially responsible for Acqua di Gio, if not fully. I'm not sure what the story is behind that, but he's had his hand in that. He's had his hand on D Squared line. A ton of lines that I could literally sit here and list all day long. So a very good nose behind this particular fragrance, and it shows. Now, a lot of people compare this fragrance, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, to Allure Homme Sport. There's a lot of comparisons if you look on FragranceNet, if you look on Base Notes. A lot of people say this really reminds them of Allure Homme Sport right off the bat, and I'll have to admit it really does have a very similar composition and almost opening to the same. The difference between the two I'll kind of touch upon later, but it is very similar to Allure Homme Sport if some of you are trying to get a feel for what you're going to get when you spray this fragrance. So let's start off with the notes for this fragrance. The notes are neroli for the top. We've got neroli, bitter orange leaf, citron, and bergamot. For our mid notes, we have geranium, blue hyacinth, clary sage, and cedarwood. And for our base notes, we have oud, mineral amber, musk, and tonka. So what you get when you spray this fragrance immediately off is something that is very linear throughout. And it's a very citrusy smell, a very sour citrusy smell, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like a playful citrus. It is a very professional citrus that comes across rather than anything that you just, lightly spray on. You get a little bit of the lemon that comes out in it. Overall, it's a very inoffensive fragrance that comes at you. This smell that you're going to get with it remains with the fragrance throughout the entire time. So it doesn't really change at all. What you get at the top is what you can get in the middle and at the base as well. The base kind of leaves you with a little bit of a woodsy smell that I kind of get off, but that doesn't last long at all. Maybe 30 minutes tops. So the vast majority of the fragrance, like I said, you're going to get a sour citrus type smell that almost has a soapy quality to it as well. Very inoffensive. You can get a little bit of the neroli that comes in, and I believe that's what's actually making it that way. But very nice fragrance as smell-wise goes about. So again, very linear. What you see is what you get with this fragrance. Citrusy, soapy, professional, sour. Those are pretty much the things that come to my head right off at the bat. And now, earlier I mentioned it's very similar to Allure Homme Sport. Allure Homme Sport takes a little bit of a turn once you get past that initial, fresh blast, or the blast that you get when you first spray it. Whereas this doesn't take that turn or anything like that. It keeps along the same curve. So as far as sprays goes, for this one I usually treat it one spray to the chest area, one spray to the head, and a spray to each wrist. If you want, you can add one to the back of the neck, or to the front of your shirt. It's not going to be really something that you're going to really choke anyone out with, just because after you spray it initially, it's going to calm down and it's not going to be a projection monster. So for occasion, this is a very versatile fragrance. You can wear it for any occasion, really, but personally, I only wear this one to work because it has it is a little bit unique in that manner of the citrus and how it comes across as a professional citrus type smell. So I personally recommend this only for work, but it is very versatile and you can wear it for any scenario. Perfect for an everyday type fragrance as well. As far as projection and sillage goes, projection, easily, it projects very well for the first, I want to say 4 hours. After that, it starts to die down a bit and starts to get closer to the skin. And after about 8 hours, it's completely gone. So anywhere between 4 and 8 hours for projection, and as well as longevity, which was the next category, but anywhere between 4 and 8 hours. As far as sillage goes, for the first 2 hours, I would say, you're going to get pretty decent sillage, but after that, it's going to die down, and you're not going to really leave a scent trail at all. It's pretty much the scent that's going to stick with you. It's going to project a little bit, get your scent out there, but when you leave, the fragrance leaves. It doesn't stick around and leave a nice little scent trail. So for season, I would definitely say this is an any season type of fragrance. One characteristic that I forgot to mention with this fragrance is it is also pretty sharp. So because of that sharpness on the citrus, it allows it to really cut through cold air. So it serves its purpose just as well in the summer as it does in the winter. So year-round fragrance, perfect for very versatile, definitely fits that bill. For the age group, I also touched upon the fact that it has a little bit of a mature ring to it. And because of that, age group, I would say a more mature person should be the one wearing this. So generally I say anywhere out of college or past that age group. Again, I use college as a relative term for around mid-20s. Maybe if you're a mature person and you're a 16-year-old, feel free, go ahead and wear it. Again, it's just emphasis on whether or not you can kind of pull this one off. It has more of a mature vibe. So 25 and up is the range that I give this fragrance. So overall, it gets a lot of very good compliments from people, and I didn't find one person who found that this actually smelled bad. Great comments all around, great compliments all around that I've gotten with this fragrance. Here's what people thought of it.
The cologne's very good. It's very inviting for a woman to a man. It smells really nice and sweet. It's not too heavy. Very attractive. I like it. I give it an A+.
It has a nice smell to it. Reminds me of Brut from years ago. I don't wear any type of cologne. I just do an aftershave, so it's got a fresh smell to it. Nice. Okay.
Okay, letter grade?
Yeah, a solid B. Yeah, very nice.
Pretty subtle, kind of an incense type smell. Sandalwood or something like that comes to mind. Not too overpowering, not too floral. So I kind of like that. I'd give it a B.
I personally like it. I think it smells good. I would definitely wear it. You know, is it available? I don't know.
Yeah.
I would definitely wear it. I'm trying to think of what it reminds me of. I'm not sure, but I'll give it a B+ or an A. B+ we'll go with. Definitely like it. Smells professional. We'll go with that.
So as you can see, very positive reviews on this fragrance that I've gotten from this. One person said gave it an A+, 2 Bs, and a B+ for the fragrance. You got different words like inviting, sweet, nice, fresh, subtle. One person mentioned sandalwood. I did have 2 people who did get woods right off the bat. I personally don't get it, but they got woods from this fragrance as well. And the last thing that was kind of mentioned was professional, and that's really sums it up at what you can expect with this fragrance. So as far as ratings go, for scent, I give this one an A-. A very pleasant scent, excellent scent, doesn't really slouch in too many areas at all with the scent. Yeah, so solid A- for its scent. For projection, this one gets a C+. Projection is pretty decent starting off, but again, it tails off after about the 4-hour mark and starts to stick a little bit closer to the skin. So good projection overall, but it could be better, definitely. So projection is a C+. For sillage, I give this one a solid C. It doesn't really leave a scent trail for too long. It leaves a decent scent trail, but not really too good. It's not really one of those fragrances that people are gonna sniff around and smell long after you're gone. Not that type of a fragrance at all. For uniqueness, this one gets a C+. It gets a unique mark because of its sharpness, because of its almost professional way that it carries the citrus. But other than that, it does smell like your run-of-the-mill citrus aquatic type fragrance scent. So keep that in mind. Uniqueness, it gets a C+. For longevity, this one gets a B-. 48 hours is what you can expect from this fragrance. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. So generally speaking, you could kind of get away with it for the majority of a workday, an 8-hour workday. Sometimes you'll fall short, but overall it does its job if you're spraying it to wear to work. So for versatility, this is where it shines. It gets a solid A+. Any season, any occasion, you pick it, you wear it, it'll do good in. Personally, again, I wear this fragrance for work, and I think it does best at work, but really you can pull this one off anywhere. So versatility, solid A+. For compliments, this one gets a solid A-. Compliments, it really shines here. Haven't come across a single person who dislikes this fragrance, and the vast majority of them like it or really love this fragrance. It is a compliment getter. I give it an A- for compliments. For overall opinion of the fragrance, it gets a solid B. B+. It's a solid B+. It really gets the job done. If you're looking for a fragrance to kind of last you over, whether it be for summer or just looking for an all-around fragrance, this is the fragrance to look at. I'm sorry, not just summer, but obviously all year round, any occasion. Highly versatile, very pleasant smelling. People love it. Can't really go wrong with it. The only qualm that I have against it is the amount that it lasts. Sometimes it doesn't project as well, and it does kind of follow the same mold of aquatics, sweet smelling, pleasant smelling, not gonna offend anyone. So that's the only reason why it kind of gets those marks down. So solid B+, excellent fragrance. Go ahead, give it a check out. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free, leave a message. Thank you everyone, and take care of yourselves.